Let me get undressed. Yeah! Yeah! Let's get him going! Oscar, we gonna get you going! Oh my God, he's bluffing! He's bluffing! Let me see the uppercut! Only in New York, ladies and gentlemen, only in New York!
And Oscar De La Hoya, everybody out. Gennady Golovkin sued you, and Ryan Garcia that threatened to sue you, and I don't need to sit down with you about nothing. I see you doing a lot of tweeting, but you ain't speaking. Maybe you somewhere tweaking. The lawsuit stands.
What his confidence level, Devin Haney's confidence level is gonna be like fight night. Ramirez is looking sharp and he hits like a mule, so we will see how Devin Haney reacts to a punch, and can he overcome those obstacles that he faced last year with Ryan Garcia. This is my thought. First of all, I cannot believe that Devin Haney has not fired his father. How is he still a manager to Haney? He basically almost ruined his career, you know, by suing this and that and this. It's like, I mean, Devin Haney's actually a nice guy. I don't have anything against him, but his father is ruining his potential. It's amazing. It's mind-boggling.
Oscar De La Hoya suddenly shocked the world of boxing by threatening to f*** up Bill Haney. The fiery encounter has people amazed and left trying to figure out what caused the unexpected tantrum. This beef clearly precedes the recent press conference, since Oscar De La Hoya's remarks after Devin Haney lost to Ryan Garcia also targeted Haney's father, accusing him of poor decision-making in terms of management.
I want to start by saying that I feel sorry for Devin Haney. We hardly ever hear him speak because his daddy does all the talking, and it's cost him all 12 fans he had. Sure, Devin had a bad loss this year, but it shouldn't have been career-ending. It all could have been easily fixed if it wasn't for his father and manager, Bill, who single-handedly turned it all into a more toxic situation than Chernobyl. I have never seen a bigger f***ing of a boxer's career in my life.
Disgusting.
All Devin had to do after the losing to Ryan Garcia last April was say, he beat me. I couldn't block his left hook. And then get back in the gym. But instead of focusing on a comeback fight in 2024, and teaching his son how to block the left hook, Bill felt it was a better idea to have Devin sue Ryan Garcia for battery and emotional distress. To sue Golden Boy.
Meanwhile, Bill Haney had been involved in a heated argument with Oscar De La Hoya in the past when he kept the Golden Boy lawsuit case alive. Bill had sued Golden Boy Promotions for mismanagement and failure to uphold their contractual obligations. The case, which took a back seat for a while, further fueled Bill and Oscar's tension.
And Oscar De La Hoya, everybody out. Gennady Golovkin sued you, and Ryan Garcia that threatened to sue you, and I don't need to sit down with you about nothing. I see you doing a lot of tweeting, but you ain't speaking. Maybe you somewhere tweaking. The lawsuit stands.
Throwing fuel on the fire, Ryan Garcia facetiously chose Oscar De La Hoya to defeat Devin Haney in a fight, making light of the tension. The statement was obviously done in jest, but it nonetheless highlighted the broken relationship between Haney and Golden Boy.
Brian, how quick does Oscar knock out Bill Haney?
Under like 3 seconds.
3 seconds, that's what I think.
Might be nice for that.
You're the man.
Like his promoter Oscar De La Hoya, even Ryan Garcia wasn't on friendly terms with Bill Haney. Though he never stooped to name-calling, Ryan left it very much in interviews that he didn't enjoy Bill coming in and mediating and chatting about the whole lawsuit scenario as well as the drama that ensued.
This is not the same Ryan Garcia.
No.
Okay, no. I got multiple personalities.
Listen, everyone.
I got multiple personalities.
This is going to be.
You don't want to see the crazy one. You want to see the crazy personality.
Wait, listen. I'm not.
You and your son is some. You the biggest out of all of them. You a big. That's why you was a big right. You a little. You a it's coming back. It's coming back.
Moving on, Oscar De La Hoya didn't hesitate after yesterday's fiery exchange with Devin Haney. The confrontation flared when Haney walked by and fired a shot at Oscar's integrity, claiming he didn't know how to be an actual promoter. Already agitated, Oscar lost his temper, seemingly enraged, allegedly prepared to punch, and retaliated with even more vitriol.
Need to get undressed. Yeah! Yeah! Let's get him going! Oscar, we gonna get you going!
Oh my God, he's bluffing. He's bluffing.
Let me see the uppercut.
Only in New York, ladies and gentlemen. Only in New York.
I'm ready to throw down.
Yeah, you were ready to prompt and let it go now? Yeah.
He reaffirmed his longtime criticism of Haney's dad, Bill Haney, holding him responsible for making a hostile environment and mishandling Devin's career. Oscar said Bill's interference has caused more harm than good, and he again called on Devin to get rid of his dad if he wants to progress.
Well, this is my thought. First of all, I cannot believe that Devin Haney has not fired his father. How is he still a manager to Haney? He basically almost ruined his career, you know, by suing this and that and this. It's like, I mean, Devin Haney's actually a nice guy. I don't have anything against him, but his father is ruining his potential. It's amazing. It's mind-boggling.
But Oscar De La Hoya beefing with the Haneys is not an anomaly. Oscar has a long history of feuding with big names in combat sports. He's publicly sparred with Dana White, who criticized his analysis as hard to watch during his comeback bid, and even had a bitter falling out with Canelo Alvarez, formerly Golden Boy Promotions crown jewel.
I can't wait to see you next Saturday, buddy. I see that you got the same ab surgery I got. I always knew you wanted to be like me, bro. It will be great to hang out with you face to face. Let's go!
Pendejo, tú no escribes nada, cabrón, tú no haces nada, o sea, tú no haces nada.
Yo lo escribí.
Eres un pendejo, eso es lo que eres.
Eres un baboso.
Eres un pendejo, cabrón, porque están nomás ahí. Los que hacen todo son los que están detrás de ti. Tú eres un pendejo nomás con la imagen, idiota.
In response to the recent fight, Bill Haney shot back at Oscar De La Hoya with some lighthearted trash talk. Haney ridiculed Oscar, stating that he was too slow to get any meaningful punches on him, stating that Oscar's speed would not be an issue for him. This was an obvious move to belittle Oscar's skills, with a dash of humor in an effort to de-escalate the tension.
We just wrapped up the press conference. Things got a little heated. What was your reaction when Oscar De La Hoya got up and unbuttoned his shirt?
I listen, I'm used to seeing a different Oscar. It was taking him a long time to unbutton that coat, and that's what I think. I think he's moving way slower than he actually thinks. If he thought he was going to hit me with anything.
Even prior to the recent scuffle, Oscar had stated outright where he was on Devin Haney's case. Asked to forecast a fight between Jose Ramirez and Haney, Oscar chose Ramirez and explained that Haney had lost confidence, and Oscar pointed a finger of blame at Bill Haney for it once again.
I think Ramirez is gonna beat Devin Haney, and I'll tell you why.
Okay. Because hearing that, a lot of fans will be like, whoa, Oscar, what?
No. First of all, look, and yeah, I'm a fighter. Devin Haney coming off a devastating loss. Not just a loss, a devastating loss. It depleted him. It depleted his confidence. I mean, it depleted the way he thinks, the way he acts, the way he moves. It was heartbreaking. Father throwing fuel on the flame, talking nonsense, convincing him to sue us and this and that. It's a bad look. And the one who's taking it the hardest is Devin Haney. I'm surprised that Devin Haney still has his father as a manager. I really am. I thought he would have already fired him. He's still your father, don't worry, but I thought he would fire him and get somebody that knows what they're doing.
Conor Benn also had something to say about the situation, agreeing with Oscar De La Hoya. Benn didn't hold back, labeling Devin Haney's actions as mingy, implying that it wasn't classy or mature. By standing up for Oscar, Benn was adding another voice to the mounting criticism of how Devin and his father have been conducting themselves in public.
Like, it doesn't get much higher than this. That in England is called mingy behavior. I thought he couldn't have made situations worse for himself. Well done, you. Well done. You actually done it. You actually done yourself no favors. And then you got Bill, who's trying to take the heat off of Haney, Devin, and saying, "Oh, thank you for letting me and my team do that." No, they shouldn't be doing that. Own it. Just own it. Just own you got your ass beat. Done. Finish. You got your ass handed to you.
In his earlier jab at Devin Haney, De La Hoya shared thoughts identical to those of Conor Benn, advising Haney to leave things alone rather than prolonging the theatrics. Oscar indicated that everybody recognized Haney had been visibly defeated by Ryan Garcia, and that all the post-fight hubbub would not make that fact any different.
Let's talk about Devin Haney now. Devin Haney, you're pathetic. You're dancing around in the bowling alley because you got your decision reversed? Nobody's gonna forget about that beating you took.
Along with this, Oscar De La Hoya responded with a stern threat to Devin Haney when asked about the recent fight. He made it very clear that disrespect or insulting comments regarding his promotion, fighters, or events would no longer be accepted.
Well, you know, when somebody talks shit about me, when somebody puts "keep my name out of your f***ing mouth," when somebody talks shit about me, I'm gonna defend myself, I'm gonna defend the fighters, I'm gonna defend the promotion. Do not talk about me or I'm coming back at you and clapping back.
Emiliano Vargas also chimed in support of Oscar De La Hoya, offering his own opinion on the matter. Vargas pointed out that Devin Haney's punches are not as lethal as before, indicating Haney's power has decreased. This statement again added to the increasing criticism against Haney that his skills were not as excellent as when he first broke through in the lightweight division. Vargas, who was with Oscar in his thinking, appeared to doubt Haney's position right now in the ring, joining the increasing pressure on him.
He was already in shape beforehand. Looks like he had a good weight cut. So my thing is this: he couldn't get away from the left hook. So regardless, Austrian, no Austrian, he can't get away from the left hook, bro. So I just think it's gonna be a great fight. We'll see, and I think they should rematch.
Teddy Atlas also raised concerns about several aspects of Devin Haney's approach leading up to his fight, adding to the scrutiny surrounding the lightweight champion. Atlas questioned Haney's mental state and whether the ongoing distractions, including the drama with his father, were affecting his focus and preparation. He pointed out that Haney's performance could be compromised by the constant external pressures, suggesting that the fighter might be struggling to maintain the confidence and clarity needed for big fights.
So, what does he have left physically? Has he lost anything physically from that brutal fight? And then number two, and the most important part, where is he mentally after his first loss? Where is he? Has he regained his confidence? Is he Devin Haney again? And then number three, his strategy, his identity. Where I thought that they made a mistake in the first fight, and I understand the mistake.
Frank Smith entered the fray as well, openly referring to Oscar De La Hoya as jealous in his very public arguments with Eddie Hearn. The public comment was an additional complication on the already tense De La Hoya-Hearn relationship. Smith's remark captured the sentiment in the wider boxing world that Oscar's personal vendettas against other promoters, particularly Eddie Hearn, were rooted more in envy than genuine complaints about fighter treatment or business approaches.
He's finished, jealous, deluded. That's my opinion on Oscar De La Hoya. I think he's jealous of Eddie Hearn. I said this.
Bill Haney eventually commented on the current drama, addressing Oscar De La Hoya's statements. Bill demanded that Oscar retract his statements, especially with how fighters are being treated. Bill noted that there were 3 top events wherein fighters, including his son Devin, deserved more praise, but were overshadowed by the current drama instead. He highlighted that 6 combatants, his son among them, had earned accolades for their hard work and abilities.
Was Oscar lying? Because listen, he said there were 3 headliners and they're all with his company. That's a lie. And then he starts speaking Spanish, so I don't know how many more lies he told.
Do you think him...
Did you catch the first lie?
Would you say?
6 tremendously talented fighters, and it's a great opportunity, you know, at Times Square for them to showcase their talents, fight everybody round robin, however you want to do it. You know what I mean? But let's salute all of the guys. Yeah. And I think that's the only thing that I was coming up there to do, is to salute them.
When questioned about the lawsuit and whether there could be a rematch between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, Oscar De La Hoya clearly stated he'd rather neither of those things occurred. He stated that it would be best if Garcia was able to get on with his life, indicating that rehashing the drama, either in the courtroom or the ring, wasn't needed.
Obviously, I would rather see Jose upset Devin Haney. I mean, obviously, I'm backing my fighter 1,000%. People want to see the rematch. I think the loss, the first fight was such a devastating loss. There's no need for a rematch. I think Ryan Garcia can move on to bigger and better things, but I think this rematch is pretty enticing, actually.
Nonetheless, Devin Haney isn't appearing likely to give any ground. He's made sure to indicate the lawsuit against Golden Boy Promotions will continue being active unless he gets a clear confirmation of a rematch with Ryan Garcia. Haney seems set on making Oscar De La Hoya and his camp pay, leveraging the court fight to get what he feels is a rightful second fight.
A point that we made is we said, well, we do a fight, then it won't be no lawsuit. We'll drop the lawsuit.
So you're saying that's a leverage way to make sure we get the fight, basically?
I ain't saying nothing. I'm saying what I said, but what I'm saying is that October, we fight, lawsuit is dropped.
Yeah. But you saw when it changed
and that was, you know, that was Ryan's point as well. He said, you know, if y'all drop the lawsuit, then we'll fight. And we said, we'll drop the lawsuit if we can fight.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you seen the public opinion change because of that? That was the main thing where I feel like it got, you know, where people just started really criticizing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, like I said, we fighting in October.
Yeah.
For a reason.
As for the possibility of a rematch, not even Jake Paul agreed with the choice of Devin Haney to file a lawsuit. Commenting on the issue, Jake opined that taking things to court appeared not only unnecessary, but also counterproductive. He went on further to state that if a rematch were to occur, he'd foresee Haney losing again, as he pointed out Ryan Garcia's momentum and confidence.
He did whoop Devin Haney.
That wasn't a steroid whooping, bro. That was just a cold blood.
That was bad.
They ever run that back?
For sure they're going to run it back because...
Devin Haney's suing him for assault and battery.
That's wild. I guess the rationale is that if he used PEDs to beat him, then it ruined his reputation. How much damage did that cost to his career? And that's what he's suing for.
Or you could just get it back in blood.
Do you think Devin Haney could knock out Ryan Garcia?
No.
Even Ryan Garcia admitted he wasn't entirely serious in the first fight against Devin Haney, openly admitting he was distracted, unmotivated, and not in top form. Yet, even without that focus, he still managed to win. By calling attention to this, Garcia was essentially saying that a rematch would be even more lopsided if he were fully prepared and dialed in.
This dude got clowned up. I barely tried, bro. I was drinking every day. On Monday, I was at Tao nightclub. Tuesdays, I was at Little Sister. Wednesdays, I went out. Thursday, I went out. Friday, I was drinking. I was doing whatever I want. The day of the fight, I drank a Blue Moon. I was chilling, bro. And I don't have a scratch on my face, and I fought a pound-for-pound champion, undefeated, undisputed champion at 135.
Went the distance.
And he barely went the distance because that ref, you know, he would have knocked out.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss the next installment in this sizzling boxing saga. Let us know in the comments. Will the rematch take place, or is this just bad blood going down the drain? See you in the next one.